Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life by Design with Janette podcast. I'm Janette Mondin, real life coach, real results expert, and someone who believes deeply that every person has the ability to create a life that they truly love. Each week on this podcast, we'll explore powerful ideas that help you move from living life by default to living life by design. Today, we're talking about something that almost everyone experiences, but the very few people truly understand, and that is failure. Most people see failure as something negative, something embarrassing, something they want to avoid. But what if failure wasn't the end of the story? What if failure was actually part of the process of success? Today, I want to share with you 4 powerful ways to look at failure that can completely change how you experience setbacks in life. These 4 steps are: number 1, learn from it. Number 2, redirection. Number 3, reflection. And number 4, setup, how it prepares you for the next step. When you begin to look at failure this way, something amazing happens. Failure stops being something that stops you and becomes something that moves you forward. First, let's normalize something. Every single successful person you admire has experienced failure. Entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, leaders, coaches, inventors. Behind every success story, there are usually many attempts that didn't work out. But the difference between people who succeed and people who stay stuck is often this: successful people don't interpret failure the same way. They don't see it as proof they can't succeed. They see it as information. They see it as feedback. They see it as part of the path. So let's walk through the 4 powerful ways to reframe failure. First, learn from it. This is a simple way to start. Failure contains information. Think about it. If something didn't work, there's something valuable inside that experience. Maybe you learned what strategy doesn't work, what approach needs to change, what skill you need to improve, what timing wasn't right. Every setback gives us data. And learning from that data is how people grow. Thomas Edison once said something very interesting when he was inventing the light bulb. Someone asked him how it felt to fail thousands of times, and he said, "I didn't fail thousands of times. I discovered thousands of ways that don't work." That's a powerful mind shift. Instead of seeing failure as the end, he saw it as a learning progress. So the first question to ask after a setback is, what can I learn from this? That question turns failure into a teacher. 2, redirection. The second powerful way to look at failure is redirection. Sometimes failure is life's way of guiding us in a different direction. Think about how many people look back on their lives and say things like, "I'm so glad that job didn't work out. I'm so glad that opportunity fell through. I'm so glad that relationship ended." At the time, those experiences may have felt painful, but later they realized something important. That experience redirected them towards something better. Sometimes we can't see the bigger picture while we're inside the moment, but many failures are actually course corrections. They help us move closer to what truly aligns with our lives. So when something doesn't go your way or the way you hoped, ask yourself, could this be redirecting me? Could there be something better waiting ahead? That question creates openness instead of discouragement. The third step is reflection, and specifically reflecting on the good that came out of the experience. Now, this can be challenging in the moment. When something doesn't work out, our brains tend to focus only on the negative. But if you pause and reflect, you'll often discover there were valuable hidden things inside of the experience. Maybe you met someone important. Maybe you gained confidence. Maybe you developed resilience. Maybe you discovered strengths you didn't know you had. Every experience shapes us, even the difficult ones. When we take time to reflect and ask, what good came from this? We begin to see our lives through a different lens. Instead of seeing ourselves as victims of circumstances, we see ourselves as people growing through experience. The fourth and most exciting way to look at failure is this: failure can be a setup for the next opportunity, a setup for the next level of growth, a setup for something better. Many people look back on their lives and realize their biggest disappointments actually prepared them for their biggest successes. They learned skills, they developed resilience, they built courage, They became stronger. In other words, what felt like failure was actually preparation for the next step. Sometimes life is preparing you for something bigger than you can currently see, and that preparation often happens through experiences like challenges. So instead of asking, why did this happen to me? A powerful question is, how might this be setting me up for something better? Imagine what would happen if you truly adopted this mindset. Instead of fearing failure, you would see it as part of the process. You would know that every setback contains a lesson, a redirection, a reflection, and a setup. You would become much more willing to try things, take risks, pursue dreams, because you would know that even if things don't work out the first time, you're still moving forward. The people who ultimately create extraordinary lives are not the ones who avoid failure. They are the ones who keep moving forward despite it. They learn, they adjust, they grow, and eventually they succeed. Failure is not the opposite of success. Very often it is the path to success. And the way we interpret our experiences can make all the difference. I want to leave you with a powerful reflection exercise. Think about one experience in your past that you once considered a failure. Now walk through with these 4 questions. What did I learn from it? How might it have redirected me? What good came from it? How did it set me up for where I am today? When you look at your life through that lens, something incredible happens. Your past begins to make sense, and your future begins to feel full of possibility. Thank you so much for spending time with me today on the Life by Design with Janette podcast. If today's episode helped you see failure in a new way, I'd love to help you go even deeper in designing a life you truly love. You can visit my website at lifecoachingwithjanette.com to download my free vision workbook. It will help you gain clarity about what you truly want for your life and begin creating a vision for your future. While you're there, be sure to check out my website for the next vision workshop that I have coming up. It's a wonderful opportunity to learn powerful ideas that can help you gain clarity, get unstuck, and start designing a life you truly love. Again, that's lifecoachingwithjanette.com to get your free vision workbook and to see when the next vision workshop is happening. And if this episode inspired you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it, because sometimes one idea, one conversation, or one new perspective can change the direction of someone's life. Until next time, remember, you were not meant to live life by default. You were meant to live life by design.